Hello. Happy Tuesday home. So that's fun.
Maybe that's better. Okay. So anyway. Better? Okay. So I thought I would jump on here and paint this cute snowman with you. It was now out of camera range. Who was there? So the snowman door hanger. That's what it looks like. We're going to paint that together. So just as you jump on, say hi. Let me know that you're here.
Is that better? No.
Okay. Maybe now the echoey nonsense will go away. All right. So anyway, as you're jumping on, just say hi. Let me know that you're here. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm trying to move this so that you can see what I'm painting. I thought I had it in the camera range. And now I feel like we're like out of the camera. That's better, right? Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to paint the background of the snowman like a light blue color. There we go. It's called Sea Breeze. This is the color I like to put on the back. It just reminds me of snow and winter and all things fun and cold. So winter is probably honestly my favorite season. It seems kind of crazy, but I just love the snow. It's so pretty. I don't like the cold part of it, but I think snow is just pretty to look at. This is a fun door hanger because it does look like an ornament. It has an ornament topper up here, but I really think that you could leave it up like all winter on your door. So it's not super Christmassy. It doesn't like say Merry Christmas or anything like that. So speaking of Christmas, who has all their Christmas shopping done? Not me. I do have most of it done. I do always do a lot of Christmas shopping online. I don't really know that I did any more online this year than I usually do. I enjoy shopping online. I always have. I hate going to the store. So, you know, A plus for pandemic for making online shopping even easier than it was before. I really don't have to go in the store at all now. I can do everything curbside, which is amazing when you're kind of introverted like me and you hate going in stores. I'm looking at the camera here and I realized that I probably should put on some lip gloss or something before I get on here because my lips are all palish looking. Anyway, I'm just going to paint this background this pretty blue color. I've almost finished my holiday orders. So if you are local and still wanting to order something, now's a good time because the orders have finally slowed down for my Etsy shop. They got a little crazy there around Black Friday. We did have a nice Black Friday sale, and people took advantage of that, which I'm so thankful for. But, you know, I am a one-woman show, so it's kind of hard when your orders are taking off like crazy, and it's just you. And you're trying to help your kids with e-learning and make sure the house doesn't look like a disastrous mess all the time, and feed everybody dinner every night. I don't know why they have to eat dinner every night, but yeah, it gets a little crazy trying to keep up with orders when it's just one person. So if you're local and you're wanting something, things have slowed down a bit. So I am trying to catch up on some local orders. We can certainly do porch pickup for local orders if you're needing a last minute Christmas gift. I do have time to get some things done. So I just love the snowman too, because he doesn't really, like, you don't see his face. He's just kind of like looking up at the sky, watching the snowfall. It's just so cute. And now's a good time, if you haven't already, if you're thinking about possibly booking a paint party. January is a great time to have a paint party. So this little snowman guy would be a great thing to paint at a paint party. We can even just make it like a circle and not have the ornament topper part on it. So that would be a fun snow winter door hanger after your Christmas decor is all put up and you're ready for something that's just a little more not Christmassy to go on your door. This would be a nice thing to put up there, and you could paint it yourself at a paint party. And if you're not ready to be around people, we could certainly do a virtual paint party too. So if that's something you're interested in, just shoot me a message. I have a couple of parties booked. I have one for Saturday, birthday party. So that's going to be fun. We're going to paint a reindeer and a penguin, so you get to choose which one. Usually when I do paint parties, I let you pick 2 to 3 designs for you and your friends to paint. So that's what we're doing Saturday. It's for a little girl. So we do kids parties as well. If you're looking for something fun, winter birthdays are always hard. I have a winter birthday. Almost everybody in my family has a winter birthday. My mom's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Mom. My dad, whose birthday is tomorrow. My sister has a December birthday. My stepson's birthday is coming up this weekend on Saturday. And then Oliver, my other son, has a birthday 2 days after mine. So we love winter birthdays around here. So it's always hard to find something to do, though, with winter birthdays, because it's just like, I mean, you can't go outside. It's not like you can have a pool party. So paint parties are a fun thing. If you or your kiddo loves painting or being artistic, we can do canvas paint parties, or like a wood sign for your room kind of paint party. So that's fun because it gives you something to do and something fun to take home. All right. This guy is actually for a last minute order on Etsy. So I'm going to get him painted and get him out as quick as I can. I don't know if he's going to make it there for the holidays or not, but we will see. Post office is way overwhelmed with packages. I feel sorry for the postal workers because it's crazy. I know. I mean, I live in Sellersburg, Indiana, so it's a smaller town. I mean, it's not real small, but it's not big either by any stretch of the imagination. And our post office has been packed every time I go to drop off packages. It's crazy. Let's see. Try to scoot this over a little bit so we can stay in the line of the camera. I'm hoping that for Christmas I get a new mount for my phone so that I can put it up a little bit higher so you can actually see the whole thing that I'm painting without me moving it around every few minutes. So It's on my Christmas list, so we shall see. But right now, I just have this. It's kind of crazy what you don't see behind the scenes. But my phone is on a small ring light on top of another crate on top of a cup, balanced. You do what you got to do, right? All good. Have some more Christmas gifts to finish up this week. I always wait till the last minute to make the gifts that I'm going to make. I like making gifts, but unfortunately when I'm trying to also run the business, it's hard because, of course, the regular orders take precedent over whatever I want to make for people. So I end up running out of time, and I can't always do everything I want to do. But that's life, right? So I'm hoping that later this week I can get some of those gifts made. I love giving a personalized handmade gift. I think it makes it a little more special. I don't know about you, but it is so chilly here today. We go from 50 degrees back down to the 30s. It just is so cold. I went out this morning to the garage to cut some of these pieces. I cut this and a few other things I want to get done. I like to cut them all at once rather than going out several times. It just makes my time go a little bit easier. It was so cold out there. My fingers were frozen by the time I got done cutting and sanding. This is our last week of e-learning. Thank goodness. So, hopefully, for the rest of the year, the rest of the school year is my prayer, but we'll see how well that works out for us. I don't know. We're supposed to go back in January. I'm not. I really hope they do, but I'm not holding my breath. I am not a teacher, and my kids do so much better when they're in school, at a school building, and not at home. So it's a little bit easier of a week for them this week too, because teachers are trying to catch up grade books and get everything graded and ready to go. So that's nice for me too, because it means I don't have as much e-learning to do. So good morning, honey. Hubby's on there. I think he's supposed to be working though, not watching Facebook Lives. Alright, just about have one good coat of background color on here. Alrighty. Pretty good. I'm going to hit these edges real quick while I've got this blue paint on my brush. Make sure I got all the edges. So I'm hoping now that the kids are almost done with e-learning and maybe eventually we can go back to school, I can come back to doing more Facebook Lives. I was doing really good in October, and then life. We got busy doing e-learning and all the other fun things. And so I haven't been on here very much. And I'm trying to keep up with holiday orders. So I'm hoping that now we can come back to being on here a little bit more so you can see some of the paintings. All right, I just got a little splash of blue paint on here while I was painting the edges and being a little not so careful. So I'm just trying to wipe that off because white does not cover very well over things. I don't want to have to put a million coats of white. So baby wipes are the answer. All right, so we got that done. Oh, I see a spot I missed here. By his arm. Look at that. I missed that whole spot right there. I'll do that real quick. There we go. All right, so next I'm going to paint the snowman because he's definitely going to take 2 coats because white does not cover very well. So I'm going to go ahead and get one good coat on him. Let's see. I think this brush will work. So I love this design because I can do it kind of a couple different ways. You can do it with this snow look with the blue background, and when I get done, I'm going to put some wooden snowflakes up here at the top. So I like that aspect of it because I can do that with it. And then I've also done it, if you've been or at any of my craft shows, you've seen I did it with a black background that I really love and snow. So he's kind of like in the dark looking at the snow, which I think is pretty. And I put like peace on earth on that one. I just thought that was cool. So that might be a little more Christmassy because it does have the words on it. But I have another snow design, snowman door hanger that we'll do later this week, maybe tomorrow. We'll see how the day goes. That says snow place like home, which is fun. And then I also have another Christmas design I want to paint before Christmas gets here. That's a window with a snow scene. So that'll be fun too. I've had that one cut for a while now and I haven't gotten it painted yet. So I want to get that one painted. So we'll do that one too. Going around here, putting a good coat of white on the snowman. And this design is so easy to paint. Like if you wanted to do like a Christmas Eve paint party with your family, you could pick up art kits from me and do this one on Christmas Eve. And it's so easy to paint because you just literally it's paint the lines. It's so simple. Not need a lot of instruction for this design. So it would be super fun Christmas Eve thing to do. 2. He has just a fun little happy smile, this snowman does. I just love his smile. So fun. So let me know in the comments, what do you like to put out? What kind of decorations do you like to put out when you take down your Christmas stuff? Do you put up winter decorations? Do you just not have decorations? You know, like on your porch or whatever. What do you put out? I don't. Right now I have so for fall I had a fall porch cleaner. It said happy fall, y'all, I think. And it had sunflowers painted on it, which was fun. And then right now it says believe. It's got just, believe in black letters, because I just love the simplicity of that for Christmas. And it has so many different meanings, like, that you can, use for Christmas. I like that. And I don't really have a winter porch cleaner or like an everyday porch cleaner, like for when it's not, I guess there's always a season when it's not a holiday, I guess. So I'm trying to think what I want to put out there when I have to take all this Christmas stuff down. So I feel like it needs something, Just makes your house a little homier. But I don't know what to put out there. So let me know how you decorate your porch, especially after the holidays. What do you put out? Do you put out snowflakes? Do you go straight to Valentine's Day? I don't know. Well, stores do. They're already on Valentine's Day. Drives me crazy. Like, I can appreciate as a crafter and a business owner that, yes, it's time to start thinking about Valentine's Day and Easter and spring already. And we haven't even made it through Christmas yet. But, like, as a consumer, I am not ready to look at all that yet. I've been trying to think, what do I want to make? What do I want to try to sell? What would be good? What will people like? But as a consumer, I'm not ready to think about those kinds of things yet. Still have plenty of time. I'm thinking maybe I'll make one of those big welcome signs for my porch with, it has like interchangeable pieces for the O. So like for Valentine's Day, it can be like a heart, and then like an Easter egg or whatever for Easter. Maybe a sunshine or something for summer. I think that might be fun. We don't have one of those, so I think I might make that. And then I can make pieces to match my door hangers, which would be fun. All right, so we got a good coat of white on our snowman. I don't think I missed any spots, making sure. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is paint his nose. Because orange, this thing is just full of colors that don't have a lot of pigmentation in them. And orange is one of those colors that takes a million coats to cover. So go ahead and get that nose painted because it's going to need several coats. This is one thing when you're painting like pumpkins in the fall. It's so hard because it takes so much to cover your wood grain look with orange. I assume it's pigmentation. I don't know. I'm not like a color specialist or anything, but I assume that it's the pigmentation in the paints and the colors that cause it to not cover well. So it takes a lot of coats of orange to get good coverage. And I paint heavily too. I mean, like I always try to get a good amount of paint on there. A little fuzzy right there. No fuzzies on our snowman's nose. There we go. Got that off. All right. Got a good coverage of orange on there. I'll let that dry. Okay, so now I think I'll go ahead and hit the background again on the with a coat of blue, so I can see quite a bit of wood grain through here. It doesn't look bad on the camera, but in person I can see quite a bit of the wood grain line, so I want to get rid of that. So let's see, maybe there. Because this background doesn't have a lot of really anything on it. I'm going to put some snowflakes on it, but I want to make sure it has good coverage because it pretty much is what it is. It's just a big blue background. So don't want a lot of that wood grain shining through or paint lines or anything like that. I want it to be nice and smooth. When you're painting, if you're seeing a lot of lines from your paintbrush, it's probably because you need another coat, or maybe you're not using a big enough paintbrush. So it's important when you're painting big areas to use a big brush, because that will help you have fewer lines in your paint. I also like to make sure my paint is thin enough. Sometimes, the paint that you get from the store isn't always the same consistencies. Sometimes I pour it out from the bottle and it's real thick and goopy, and I don't know what causes that, if it's older or it's just the way that batch was mixed. But by adding a little bit of water on your brush as you're painting, it helps it flow smoother, which means you're doing less of this, which will cause all those paint stroke lines in your paint. You don't want to get too wet because then it'll look more like washed, like a whitewash type look. So that's not what you're going for. You don't want to get it too wet either. So there's kind of like a happy medium. Be like Goldilocks and get it just right. But a lot of times that second coat will give you that more finished look that you're looking for. Kind of clean up all those little streaks and stuff in your painting. Okay. Flip this around here. There we go. this side over here real well. One more paint. I have wrapped most of our presents already, the ones that I have anyway. The kids are done, so they're good. They were hard this year. I don't know, but we have 2 teenagers, 18 and then Bryce will be 15 on Saturday. So that's hard, of course, because I mean, they just want expensive things. It's like, well, there is a budget. So that's difficult. And then our youngest, Oliver, is 9. He'll be 10 in January. And he's kind of at the point where he just doesn't, want a lot. I mean, he plays his Nintendo Switch quite a bit. And he plays like Fortnite, which is basically a free game. I mean, they want to buy all those things in there, skins and I don't know, whatever else they buy with V-Bucks. So, he wants V-Bucks, but I don't want to give the kid $100 worth of V-Bucks for Christmas. It's just kind of a waste, in my opinion. So it's just kind of hard because there really aren't any other games that he wants. And, it's just, he really didn't, none of them really wanted anything for Christmas. It's so much easier when they're little and you can just buy, whatever cartoon is on at that time. All the stuffed animals and toys and stuff like that. But we are almost, I think we're basically out of the toy stage. And so we don't play with a lot of toys. Even Oliver. So it's hard. It was hard this year to figure out what to get them. Expensive clothes is what they want, really. So they're done. They don't have a ton of stuff, but they don't need a lot of gifts for Christmas. And it's just stuff. We don't need stuff. So I still have to get hubby a few things and then finish up like family and things like that. But all right, I'm going to go ahead. No, I'm not. I changed my mind. I'm going to paint his arms. We're going to paint them this chocolate brown color. I was going to do his mouth, but I want to put my other coat of white on before I do his mouth because it's, once you put the black on, you cannot cover it up with white for sure. So we're going to wait on that. We'll do the other coat of white here in a second. All right, so let's go ahead and do his arms. I'm going to move this. There we go. So you can see his little twiggy arms. If your hands, like my hands are shaking right now. I don't know why. It's cold. Hey, maybe I didn't eat enough this morning. I don't even know if I ate breakfast this morning. But if they are, the best thing to do is to make sure your paint is good and dry to where you can really set your hand down on your painting. And that allows you a little more stability in your painting. So if your hands are shaking or you're just unsteady as you're painting, that's kind of my trick, especially my pinky finger. Keeping my pinky grounded onto my painting helps when I'm trying to paint like straighter lines and things like that. It's kind of a little trick. See, when I'm up here in the air, my whole paintbrush shakes and things. So by sticking my hand down on my painting, it gives me a little more stability. Now you do want to make sure everything is good and dry. You're going to be dragging your arm See, like that, through wet paint. But I can't say that I don't think I can paint without getting paint on me. It just is what I do. That's okay. It comes out. Does not come out of your clothes as well, but that's all right. All right. Trying to make sure I cover up all of those graphite lines with the brown because the blue does not cover up those lines so well, so I don't want to see them. Even though I'll go back over them with black here later, I just want to make sure that they're covered with paint so they're not showing through the blue. And the great thing about snowman arms is you don't need straight lines. They're branches, right? So, I mean, when have you ever seen a super straight branch? So it's okay if it's a little wobbly on the edges because it's real life. All right. I think that's the most important thing about painting is not being so perfectionist about everything. And that's hard. I get that. But you really, I think that's why I enjoy it, because you have to just kind of let go a little bit and trust the process. Sometimes as I'm painting things, I'm like, oh, that looks horrible. It's never going to look good. And then kind of in the end, there's a way to kind of pull it all together and make it look good. And beauty is always in the eye of the beholder. I don't know. I never really love a lot of the things that I paint, but other people are like, oh my gosh, I could never paint things like that. So sometimes you just have to listen to what everybody else says and take a step back and quit looking at all the things that you think you screwed up on. It's not a print from a computer. It's not going to be perfect. This brush really is not quite thin enough, or it's got stray hairs or something. I don't know what its problem is, but I really should switch to a different brush, but I'm being lazy and don't want to do that because I don't want to rinse out another brush. I'm just trying to make this one work. There we go. Whoop, we got a little bubble on that arm right there. That's okay. I'll just be a little bump in the branch. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to do this down here white. Because it definitely needs another coat. Make sure my brush is clean. But that's the one I want to use. I'll use a little bigger one. That's the one I had brown in. Try to get all that brown out. There we go. All right. Get this white on here. Make sure I hit these edges. Quiet on here today. Might have come on too early. Or maybe nobody's used to me being on again, so they're like not getting any notifications that we're live. It's okay, you can watch watch the replay. If you are watching the replay, make sure you comment in the comments, replay, so that I know that you came back and watched me. There we go. Nice, good coat of white on there. All right, let's go ahead and touch up his face, his head. If you're local and you're interested in a holiday door hanger still, or a one of these snowman door hangers, I did take quite a few of these to the pumpkin shed here in Sellersburg. It's on Highway 60 in November, right before Thanksgiving. So you can pop over there and see what they have left. If they don't have what you're looking for, you can send me a message and I can make you one. But there should be some finished pieces there at the pumpkin shed. They were selling Christmas trees. I saw the other day that they sold out of all their Christmas trees, which is amazing. So they don't usually do that. It's the first year they've ever sold out. So that's awesome. But they do still have like live wreaths, and they have other holiday decor and things like that up there that other local artists have made. So stop by there and pick up your last minute Christmas decor. It's good to shop small and support our local businesses. So I appreciate it, and I know they do too. And they are super, super sweet people, and it's a really cute little place. They also have like fresh eggs up there and stuff like that too. So that's fun. So be sure to stop by and check out all the fun things that are there from local artists. All right. So it's got a good second coat of paint. I see a little bit of wood shining through there, but that's okay. All right, good coat, second coat of white. Let's go ahead and do his nose again. And then we'll do the buttons and the scarf. Not sure what color I want to paint those. I think they're going to be red. Probably need to go look at the listing on Etsy and see what color I have those. Make sure that they match. Can't quite reach because it's all wet. go. All right, I'm going to look on Etsy over here and see what color I have on the listing. So I make sure that I do these the same. If you have not checked out our Etsy shop, be sure to do that. Lots of stuff in there. It's red and black buttons. Okay, I thought it was red. So be sure to check out my Etsy shop. My listing is on our Facebook page. If you hit the shop now button, it should take you directly to the Etsy shop. Okay, so we'll do the scarf. It's red. Let's see. See, we'll do Santa red and true red. If there's enough. I'm running out of paint again. And the stores don't really have any still. So, all right, this is Santa red. I love this. It is such a Christmas red. It's a beautiful shade of red. I just love that red. It's just one of my favorite shades. Whoop. That was almost disastrous. All right. My friend Maria of Little Maria's Crafts showed me this trick where she paints out of her paint cap. So if you only need a tiny little bit of paint, rather than putting a whole bunch on your palette or plate and then wasting it, you can just use your paint cap and use what's in there. And in a time where, you know, if you've been to a craft store lately to look for paint, there is like none to be had. I try to save every little drop that I can. So this is great when you're just doing little details or you only need a tiny little bit. You don't have to pour out a bunch of paint on your palette because then you just end up wasting it. It's very hard to get back in the jar once you pour it out. All right. We got a good coat of red on there. And now I can just put the lid right back on my paint, and anything that was left in the top will just drip back down into the bottle. All right, now I'm going to take a little bit of this true red and add some stripes to our scarf. You don't want to put a ton in the cap because then you're going to like seal your paint bottle shut. But, you know, just kind of whatever lands in there naturally as you're taking the lid off works. So this is true red. It's very similar to Santa red, but it is a little more, it's a little brighter, I think. So I don't want this to be super obviously different colors of red, but just enough. I don't even know if you can tell that on the camera. Just enough so that there's like a stripe there. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my plate, and I'm gonna mix a smidge of brown so that it's a little bit different, because that's a little bit too much of the same color. I don't know if that helped or not, honestly. Sorry, I can't chew them and talk at the same time, so once I get concentrating on these fine lines, it's hard for me to carry on a conversation and paint at the same time. There we go. That looks good. All right. All right, we're gonna let that dry and then we'll touch it back up a little bit more. Okay, so we have mouth and buttons left. And those are gonna be black. So I'm gonna use this angled brush so that hopefully, I don't know, I'll probably have to get a smaller brush anyway, but that's okay. All right, so we'll start with the buttons. One button. Two buttons. Paint the bottom down there. All right, and a mouth. He's almost done. I just love his happy little smile. So cute. I'm gonna get a smaller brush to do those. Little, I don't know what you call it, but the curves of his smile. My hands are really shaky today. I don't know why. All right, there's one. Now the other one. There we go. I have not painted, I just noticed, the top of the ornament yet, so I need to do that. So I'm going to use a little bit of black and some white because I already have it on my palette. I'm going to mix it and make gray to do this piece up here, rather than dumping out more paint. I'm just going to use what I already have on here. Plus, I kind of like when, mixing the paint as I'm painting, rather than like mixing it entirely on my plate before I put it on my piece. So I like the variation, is probably a good word, that I can get this way in the colors. I was looking to make sure I wasn't out of camera view. Moved it closer so I can see what I'm actually doing here. It's hard sometimes, that light hits it and I can't really see what I'm painting. But if I don't have the light on, you can't see what I'm painting, so that's no good. And this brush was probably a little too small for this project. This part, I probably should have gotten a bigger brush out, but that's what I had in my hand at the time, so that's what we're using. Just gonna hit this top edge here to make sure it looks good and finished. Kind of smooth that back out so it's all blended. There we go. That looks good. Okie dokie. I feel like this needs something. Put a daub of red over here and mix it up with a little bit of black, maybe? I don't know. Too much black. Do some lowlights on this scarf. I've got a lot of black on my brush. Get some of that out. Oh no. There we go. It's all good. Okay, let's try to pick up some of just the plain red and paint it in here. Problem about mixing black and red is you will oftentimes get way more of a purple than you want because of all of the blue pigmentation that is in black. And so you'll end up with this really purpley looking red if you're not careful. So when you're mixing black and red to try to get like a different shade of red, you want to add just the teeniest, tiniest little bit, or you're going to end up with a very purpley red color if you're not careful. It just takes a teeny tiny little dot to make a slightly different color to blend in with whatever you were wanting. I'll do this just like a shade darker of red when I'm doing like the red Christmas trucks, which were super popular this year. Those door hangers, I just add just a teeniest touch of black to my red to get a slightly different color. For the wheel wells, I think that's what we call those things. Or like on this, when I'm doing a red scarf and I want it to like have some stripes and some dimension to it, adding just a touch of black helps give it a little more depth and dimension without, you know, adding a whole lot to it. But you just need a teeniest, tiniest little bit, because if you get too much, it's going to look very purple. All right, I like that. That looks good. Okay, so now we're going to spill red paint all over us. Oops. Well, I'm in good pants too. There I got it. Okay, it's all good. I'm gonna trace around Mr. Snowman and give him a little life. So I'm gonna take my black, this is a Posca paint pen. I love these, and they really help make things pop and just give everything a finished look. You can also do this with a paintbrush if you have a super steady hand and you feel really comfortable with what you're doing. You can use a paintbrush too, or even if you don't feel comfortable. But I like the paint pens because it just gives me a little more control, and I almost like it better than using a brush. I don't know. It just I guess it kind of depends upon what I'm painting. There are times where I like to use the brush because it just kind of gives it a more artistic-y feel. But like for this kind of a thing where he's a little more whimsical, I like the paint pen because it just kind of makes him pop a little more, I think. And I don't like to do the lines like all like complete bold lines. You see, I kind of broke it up a little bit to give it a little more character. So I'm gonna not go over all of this red just yet because it's still a little wet. I'm gonna let that finish drying. And these paint pens come in like a million colors. I only have black and white right now that I use, but they do come in all kinds of fun colors. Okay. am tracing around his mouth. Not that you're going to be able to see it because it's black on black, but it does help clean up any little brush hairy strokes. I don't know what you call those. That might be left there from where I was painting. So it just makes it look a little cleaner. Same thing here with the buttons. Just kind of cleans it up and gets rid of all those little speckles that might be left from your paintbrush. All right, we're gonna go around the scarf. And not here on his scarf. And you do have to be careful when you go over the Posca pens with like your sealer. So I usually seal all my door hangers with a clear varnish. It makes them pop. The colors makes it look really nice. And again, it just kind of gives it a little more finished look. But you do have to be careful because a lot of times your Posca pens, no matter how long you've let them dry, will bleed with your sealer. So you just kind of have to watch what you're doing and make sure you're not over brushing your sealer on. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead around the outside edge of the bulb here. There we go. That looks good. Well, it looks like we're frozen over here. I don't know if it's frozen on your end. Okay. Now I'm going to take my white pen and just add a few little highlights. Use this one, yes. Should have a thicker white one, but I don't know where it is right now. All right. Give him little smiles. And maybe a little on his arms. Definitely on his buttons down here. A little highlight on his nose. And a scarf. All right. I think he looks so cute. There we go. One snowman. Look at him. He's just so cute. I just love this guy. There we go. Okay. I am going to add snowflakes as a last minute thing. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Maybe. Let me find them. Hang on. Hot second here. Figure out where I put them. Oh, here they are. So I got these at Hobby Lobby. And they were like, I don't know, $2 for this whole package of wooden snowflakes. And there's all different kinds and all different shapes and sizes. And so what I'm going to do is just add a few of these little guys on here. Maybe 5. 5 is a good number. So we'll glue those down and that will look super cute. So Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye.